Why do you think why do you think this exists? This dynamic exists. I mean, it's one thing to watch Congress and the Supreme Court, frankly, either legislate or rule in such a way that favors corporations, broadly speaking, and shuts down the ability of citizens to go and get redress in the one area they can. Why, in this instance, is that what we haven't seen it so much from a legislative standpoint because, like you say, this is what these judges are doing on a day in, day out basis is narrowing significantly what was clearly the statutory intent. But what is coming from this? Is this a cultural problem? Is it one where the judges just tend to side with white people and men, or is it one where they just tend to side with employers over employees? I mean, what's the dynamic that's going on here that leads to a 70% summary judgment dismissal rate?
Yeah, I mean, I think one, we have to think about who are the people who are deciding these cases, and how were they selected, right? All of these people, and we're talking about the federal courts right now, were selected by the President of the United States. That is an incredibly elite group of people, right? And they have for the most part, have a very different background than the vast majority of the people in the country. And because of that, you're limiting a viewpoint. I'm not saying every federal judge has the same viewpoint, but I'm saying that each of those people has a particular viewpoint, and some of it is influenced by, being a lawyer, being an elite lawyer, being now a judge, and so we've got that. Oftentimes, the federal judges have prosecutorial backgrounds. They have corporate backgrounds, and so we have that in the mix as well. In terms of other types of diversity, most of the federal bench is male, and you referred to this earlier. 65% of the people who are on the bench that are active are male versus 49% of the general population in at least the most recent census. If you look at the actual number of active and senior judges, it's even higher that the percentages of the percentage of males. You also have a high percentage of people who are white, and which isn't to say that white people or males can't be fair. The issue is that we all, in a jury, you actually deliberate, right? We talk to each other, we talk about the evidence, and we make a decision as a group. There are no deliberations outside of the appellate context. There's pressure to dismiss cases. There's a 6-month list. If you don't decide within 6 months, you're on a list. And there was a study that showed that there were more dismissals at that point in time, closer to that 6-month period. Judges can be promoted. I mean, it's not going to happen often, but they can be promoted. They also don't want to be reversed, right? So they're going to make decisions where they don't want to be reversed. And so if you're seeing cases being dismissed over and over again, you're going to say, well, it's better if I actually dismiss this type of case, a case which involves employment discrimination, because I'm less likely to be reversed. I don't think I think there's some potential effect with political parties, but I don't, a couple of the cases I was involved with when I was a lawyer, both of the judges who were involved were, Democratic appointees. So it's not, a kind of a clear case of this is a Republican Democrat issue. This is you see this with Democratic appointees as well as Republican appointees. So these are some of the things, and clearly you see a bent towards employers with all of these factors coming into play.
Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos